another sketchbook tour, because I asked people on Instagram and they seemed interested. That was when I finished this, which has been a while now. I finished this at the 6th of July and I started it 23rd of December last year. But yeah, this is sketchbook 22. And I decided to draw all of my characters for the front cover of this one. We got a Red. I don't know if I've introduced my characters on Instagram, but I don't think I've really introduced them on YouTube. And I mean, if you're interested, you can find out more about them there. But for the people who don't want to follow me on Instagram, these are my characters. This is Red, this is Aiden, this is Ebony, he's changed a bit, Connor, Andy, Amethyst, Ao, Vlad, Valerie, the guy who's just ahead is Owen, and this is Mina, and this is Mina again. I drew a really big, I haven't drawn a character this big, probably since then. Red, because she's got, she's called Red because she's got, red eyes, and then I drew this Christmas, me and my friend, because I was feeling lonely. And here's more Valerie being the crazy gal she is. And I went to Edinburgh Castle, so I nicked a ticket. And here's Aiden and Red. I drew these for a college project. And then just this page was a bit chaotic. It was just I kept making mistakes, so I just stuck things over those mistakes over and over and over again. And this is Romeo. He's a cannibal. I was making an astronaut character for this other college project, this animation. I would post the animation, but it's a bit choppy and there's no music, so it's not that interesting really. It's a bad. And this is my brain. I love Todoroki so much. He's my favorite, Overhaul's my favorite character. But he's like my favorite hero character, and I cannot draw him for the life of me. Every time I try, he just looks so just not good. He doesn't look good. And Valerie and Vlad, if you couldn't tell, these two are twins. I drew people so big. Oh my god, at the beginning of this sketchbook, he takes up this is A4. Look how he took up so much page. We got Aiden when he was alive. Just more Aiden. I draw him too much. It's a problem, and this is a really bad drawing. But this is Parasite. I changed her a bit. I gave her white hair because it used to be pink and that was way too similar to the eyes. More Parasite. These ones are really bad though. I drew Andy because I hadn't drawn her in a very long time. It was a weird face though. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with her coat. I kind of wanted to give her a dark coat with light stripes, but I don't really have anything to do that with. It's Owen! He's I said about him before, he's a Dullahan and he doesn't have a head. Well, he does have a head, but he's, sentient and kind of has his own life. And he's part of the masquerade, and he feels left out because he can't wear a mask because he doesn't have a head, so he just wears a skull. There's Moreo. I was trying to figure it out because I don't really draw him very often. But this is not a good coat. It's a bad coat. And I also messed up on the ink, and I just got a little line there. It looks like some weird beard, and I don't know. I just didn't know what to do with him. And then he looked like an e-boy for a little bit with an earring. This is the first. No wait, second. This isn't the first storyboard I did for the choke animation. It's just I was redrawing parts of the original one. I don't know, if you look at the animation you can probably tell how where this coincides, but I couldn't figure out how to do this. Sometimes I prefer my storyboards, they look a bit more energetic than when I actually do the final thing. Similar with the sketch, there's a part of the choke animation where I much prefer the sketch because it has more speed to it, and when I finished it looked a lot slower It's the bit where that hand is like swinging the key around. It just looks so slow when I lined it and colored it, but in the sketch it looked like so much like smoother and faster, and it makes me sad. I was trying to figure out how to tell the story clearer. I don't know if that story really got across. I hope it did. The beginning was a lot different when I first did it. It was just a panning shot of the house, and I changed it to that panning of the newspapers. I don't know whether that made the story clearer, because before people thought it was a family, and it was the husband killing the wife in order to get custody of the kid or something. And I was like, no, that's not right. I've done something wrong here. But I hope it's clear. I don't know whether I should say it or leave it up to interpretation, but you know. If you thought it was about a family, then don't worry. A lot of people did. Here is my meet the artist. I did. I have no idea when did I do this? And then this I still really like this, even though these hands are really weird. This is like the first watercolor background I was actually proud of. Oh, this is Layla. I think this is the first time I drew Layla. Here she is. This Layla. She's a hopeless romantic Gorgon. She's a hopeless romantic. She is a hopeless romantic Gorgon who just wants to find love, but she keeps turning them to stone. And I also drew Ari because she's precious and she deserves all the love in the world, and Overhaul, who deserves to burn in hell, but also not because I love him. Here's Red and Aiden. He likes singing, and that's a bad drawing. I should have drawn that different. He just looks really weird. Here's Rowan. She's Red's aunt. She's really hippie, but she's lovely. Yeah, this is a scrapped character that I don't really use anymore. He's like a warped version of her Red's dad that she sees in her nightmares. Oh, this was when I was feeling really ill and my throat felt really weird. It felt like it was like flooding. And this is Layla and her boyfriend, who's blind because she can't turn into stone if he can't look in her eyes. So hey. This is a drawing idea that I still want to do but never really got around to. Oh, and this is a really bad set of drawings where I wanted to do. I used to imagine that she was really dramatic, like like theatrical, and every like minor thing she would make a big deal. But I don't really like the idea or the drawings. They just look at that hand. But these are cute. Look at her. She's blushing and he's like, oh. Oh, here's another sort of background that I did with the other one. I like the colours. Look at that. Look at him. It's Feather Boa. I love him. Valerie. I like her. She's fun. I need to draw her again. I haven't drawn her in my new sketchbook, but I really like her. I also got some new pens. I like them. And then more Aiden, because I mean, I don't really have an excuse. This is also a redraw of something I did. And then I drew Aiden's Overhaul because I love Overhaul and I love Aiden. So why not combine the two? This is a new character that I made and I don't know what to do with still. Called Cherry. Drew Aiden as a girl and it's so cursed. Oh no. Yeah, here's more Cherry. I do like her. I think I like her as a character because she's just funny. I mean, she's a bit of a brat. The idea I had for her story was that her family came over to make a deal with Vlad and the Masquerade and stuff. But part of that deal was to give her an internship or something at the Masquerade's bar, and she hates that because she's very entitled and she thinks she's on top of the world. She thinks she's the toughest person ever, and so they gave her the internship to knock her down a few pegs. And I like that idea because she's a brat and I want to see her not be a brat anymore. There's Aiden being a spoopy ghost. There's Red and the necklace, which is Oh, it's complicated. Some Layla doodles. This is when I decided to make her my FMP. And this is Cole, her blind date. Layla with some flowers, looking sad. I like drawing her looking sad because she looks cute when she's sad, but sad because she's sad. I rewatched Ed's World because it was like a big like influence for me wanting to go into animation. I even made my own like things that were inspired by it. It's sort of what inspired Red and Andy. Well, it used to be called Blue. And I have some really, really bad attempts at like animation because of that. But you know, I wouldn't have really got into drawing because of it. So I appreciate Ed's World and the people who made it, obviously. I can't draw animatronics. That is my biggest thing. I just can't draw them, and that includes the creepy masks that they like. That creepy mask that Vanny has. I mean, it's just so hard to draw. And then I tried to draw it again, but good thing I hit it with a hand. And I drew Michael, because I love Michael, but he's kind of coming off the page. And I tried to draw William, but I can't come up with a design. I did way too many, I drew over it way too much, and it just doesn't look good. It's more Michael finding Elizabeth and it being all sad because she's dead and in a robot. And I drew a duck. And then I drew a banshee. And that helped me figure out how to draw like angry mouths, because I couldn't figure it out before. But what you've got to do is just do one part of the mouth like higher than the other part, and then like they go in like that, and it kind of looks, you know, I don't know. What's it called? What's it called? It's a Cyclops. And then I went to see the My Hero Academia film, and it was great. It was so good. The animation was so cool in like the opening scene. And then I wanted to draw Buddy because I remembered Dreams Come to Life existed, and I love him. He's just such a cutie. I love him. I resonate with Buddy so much when I was reading that book. I mean, I'm not a massive reader. I don't really get into like words. Films and TV shows are more my thing. But reading Dreams Come to Life, I was like, Buddy, I get you, man. But yeah, I also love Dot. Dot is great. Dot is great. I need to reread that book and draw some scenes from it. And then I drew some children. It's Aiden. I had a purple pen. I was like, I need to draw Aiden because he's all purple. Edgy ebony drawing because he's got problems. It's okay, little buddy. We'll figure them out. And then I drew him looking like this. And I was like, oh, he looks like a dad. But then I realized I don't know what dads look like. I don't have one. And then a spook Charlie. And then I redrew Ayo's old design because he used to look so edgy. He had like dyed blue hair. He had like a thing down his eye. He wore a mask, you know, piercings everywhere. He had like a robot arm for some reason. I didn't have a reason as to why he had a robot arm, he just did. Every now and then I go through periods of just drawing non-stop FNAF characters, and currently I'm going through one of those. So, you know, the cycle kind of repeats. But this was one of those times, so there's a lot of just Cassidy being all angry, and then Bite Victim being all sad, and then my camera's gonna die. It's gonna die. I need to charge. Oh no. I'm back. It's been a day. I had to charge my camera. Oh yeah, I also got a date stamp. So you're probably gonna be seeing that being used way too much. And this is also when my college closed down. Here's Owen again, and that's his head Tommy. And then there's Vlad, because I love him. Oh, this one's upside down. That's annoying. There's an Aiden, and then there's some really edgy backstory stuff for a certain character that I'm not really gonna talk about. But I like this drawing. So this is I did a little like comic, like a plan thing of like the idea I have for the opening of, you know, this Red story and all the other characters. because eventually I would like to make an animated series, but who knows if that'll even happen. Probably not, but we'll try. Oh, this was the background for the Summer Nights drawing I did on YouTube, and I tried drawing Akira because I love him, and Red wearing a raincoat because everyone was playing Animal Crossing and I wanted to, and I couldn't. So I was sad. But I did get Animal Crossing. I got Wild World. I played it for a bit. I haven't actually played it in a very long time. I probably should check on it. But I had Vesta in my village, but she moved away because I didn't check for one day and she moved, and I was really sad. This is Annie, and then there's Annie, and Iris, wrong one. She works with her. They're together. Here's a idea I had for an animation. Never really did it, but I still kind of want to. Of like, I just wanted to practice with like camera and like stuff like that. We got an amethyst being cute. Oh, this is when I decided that all of the members of the masquerade were gonna have Onk, because it means eternal life. So all of the members have to have tattoos of the Ankh on them because they're vampires. Oh god, she looks awful. I really wanted to draw the tattoo, so I drew Mina. Oh, this is a character from a GCSE project that I did, but I wanted to rework it because it looked so bad. It looked so bad, and this was like a robot dude. Two more of my Wild World villagers that had Frigga and Gwen. They were penguins, and they were a bit bratty, but I liked them because they seemed like they would be best friends, so I drew them. But then one of them moved away, and I was very mad because it was the one I didn't like as much. It was the one I liked the most, even. Ebony, looking all creepy because that's fun. And I like ghost eyes. Look how creepy them are. They're ghosty. Oh, I drew an owl because I like owls, and I kept hearing this owl in the middle of the night, and I was like, I'm gonna draw an owl. Oh, and Red talking to Death because I think Death would be pretty chill, you know. Red in a cute little jumper with a hair up. This really made me consider putting her hair up again because her hair used to be up, but it didn't make any sense because I couldn't draw her from behind. It just didn't make much sense. So Valerie, she's so cool. I love Valerie. More Valerie, and another spooky Ebony. Oh, here's the final storyboard for the choke animation, and then choke yourself to sleep, and she's dead. There, here's design for Mary and her son. I think I called him Archie. Yeah, I made the storyboard on the 25th, and I finished the animation. Oh, 25th of April. And I finished it on the 15th of May. And this is Connor's mum. She was lovely. She died though. Just more doodles. I realized that I don't draw Andy very much, and she's supposed to be a main character, so I drew her a bunch. Oh yeah, I was having trouble with like body shapes. I still do. I don't think this fixed anything. Oh my god, this page is a mess. I think the reason why that page was a mess was because I remember I was having trouble drawing something, so I just didn't. Another character from a college project. This is Cheryl. She was inspired by wasps because we did a project about wasps. And she is a mother of 3. That's one of them. She has a really bad drawing of her though. I wanted to redraw her because I hadn't drawn her in a very long time, but she's basically a cannibal like wasps, because what wasps do is they like kill other creatures, including wasps, and eat them or feed them to their babies. I tried to translate that into a character villain type thing. So more Parasite. I tried to give it lore because it's really like just a character I draw every now and then for like fun. But it started off as like a hat, and this girl, Millie, I think I called her, bought it, and she, you know, she put it on, and it slowly got more attached to her face and her head, and then she turned into a being with eyes everywhere, you know, even on her legs. Because that just happens, you know. Red skateboarding because I think she skateboards to work every day because she's a cool skater girl. Not really, she sucks at skating. 4 minutes? How is that? I just deleted so many images. How is that only Okay, some more stuff I did with watercolor because I wanted to try and force myself to do more character interaction and backgrounds. And these are some quotes from BuzzFeed Unsolved because they suited these characters here. And this was a character I made for my mum for something she was doing with work. Cherry and her family, I was trying to figure out what to do with her, and that's her dad. I wanted them to be opposites. I wanted Vlad and her dad, I don't think they have a name for him, to be polar opposites. Owen and his head, because I just love him. He's fun to draw, even though he's just a walking suit. Oh my god, there's so much. Okay, speed round. The two families interacting. More of those watercolor things and stuff. I was like redrawing old things. Down here I did a Q&A on my Instagram, and these are the answers for it. Another redraw, another one. I really like this one. This one's cute. She's all smiley, and he's like, "Oh, you're so unbelievably stupid." Little thing about why Aiden wears heels. That's something to do with an animatic. That's an animation that I'm working on. So you can look at it, but not too long. Love Zombie Aiden. Zombie Aiden's fun. Some random people. Okay. This is better now. I had to delete a bunch of things. I had to upload it to my computer because they weren't showing up in the camera. I tried to do a character lineup. I did color them digitally, but I didn't really finish it. Then I wanted to make a pirate AU because I never really understood AUs. I was like, well, I mean, AUs for your own like story. Because I mean, if you wanted something in your story, why not just put it in? But then I made a pirate AU and I was like, oh, this is fun, this makes sense. Then I decided to do another design for Vanny because the, canon appearance of her thing came out. And then I came up with this idea of like, what if William like possessed Vanny? This is for, I draw this in a style for Cliffside illustrations. They're cool artists, they're really cool characters, and I wanted to draw this because it looks as Quinn's a cutie. This was an idea I came up with like literally ages ago, like a year ago, and finally actually drew it. Of an average day at the cafe that Red works at and he owns. But I played Bioshock as well, and I wanted to draw blacksmiths because they were cool. Highlighter doodles I did in the back because I was testing my date stamp to make sure I didn't get it wrong, because there are some I did. And then another thing I did for my mum, drawing of this Basset, I think is the cat god in ancient Egypt. I don't know, she knows more about it than me. That's it. That's all there is. I did it all. Finally did another sketchbook tour because I realized I had two filmed that I just hadn't touched. Like I'd filmed it and they were like on this camera, but I never took them off and edited them. So I guess I'm sorry, but the sketchbook's not good. Aww, DJ, hello baby. Aww, this is my dog. He's been sitting under me the entire time, being a cutie. Hello, DJ. Love you. But yeah, that's all. That's all there is. If you want to see my next sketchbook when it's done, let me know. But thank you for watching if you watched this far. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Sorry for rambling.